joining us back here on the program. I don't know if he saw this. There was a USA Today to write up top 10 linebackers in the National Football League.
We were doing lists last week, too.
He was rated 1.
Ooh.
Rated number 1, right there in the middle of the San Francisco 49ers defense, getting set to get back out there after coming up just so short of the Super Bowl last year. What a remarkable run the Niners had last year. Joining us on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line is the terrific Fred Warner. How are you doing, Fred?
Man, I'm doing outstanding, Rich. I appreciate you having me on.
Did you see that you were named the top linebacker in the NFL by USA Today? Did you see that one? I saw that one.
No, I didn't see that. I didn't. I know this time of year they love to come out with lists like that.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? So,
I don't know how you, Fred, I don't know how you are. We're bored. We can't wait for football to get back.
Right.
I mean,
right.
How do you How are you feeling right now? I mean, you're getting ready. The grind is about to hit. Correct? San Francisco. Right. You report to training camp on the 26th of July, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Yeah, I'm itching, man. And like you said, we're all ready. We're all ready to get this show on the road and get back to playing football again. The greatest sport, in the world. And so just excited to get going again and get back to work.
And so let's get into the getting into work, Fred Warner. I'm sure you've heard the narrative. If not, I'll just repeat it. That Trey Lance is not ready, some people believe, to take this team to where it needs to go, to where Jimmy Garoppolo has taken it, to where Jimmy Garoppolo could still take it. But the Niners are going to turn to him, and he's not potentially ready for it. What can you tell me on that front, Fred Warner?
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken about Trey, a lot. And I know this offseason that's kind of been the, like you mentioned, the narrative of everybody asking, is Trey ready? And is Trey going to be the guy? And all these other questions. And I've continued to say, man, just how much I've admired the way Trey has taken on, just all the criticism, all the, I guess you could say, the pressure that people are trying to put on him. He's been super professional about it, especially with how young he is, very mature for his age. And so just the things that you see from him in the small things that everybody else outside of the building sees from him. I mean, that should give you a good sense of the maturity for such a young player. And, if given the reins, what the way that he would handle it, and so I can continue to sit here and tell you how, how great of a person and player that he is. I've already spoken on that, but, whatever it may be, I know that he is for sure, if given the reins, that he's ready for it. He's very professional and mature and ready for whatever he's given.
Well, again, I don't want you to tell any tales out of school, unless, of course, you want to. But has he not been given the reins? Is it not apparent to everybody there that he is going to be your Week 1 starter in Chicago right now, Fred?
Yeah. I mean, Kyle's the brains of the operation. I let him handle all that kind of stuff. My job as the middle linebacker for our defense is make sure that I'm ready to go. And at the top of my game for this side of the ball and let them handle out that side. And I know it's a big operation to operate as a team, and and so I'm just making sure I'm doing my part in the puzzle.
And so the little things that you mentioned moments ago, can you give me an example of a little thing that Lance has done and you're like, okay, that's a QB in the NFL that I know of? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, just doing the little things right, working hard, keeping his head down, staying humble, not letting the outside criticism get to him. I haven't seen him mention it one time, and the times I've seen him on, having to approach the media and the way that he goes about that and letting them know that that's not something that he's worried about. He's worried about the opinion of his coaches and teammates, and just doing the little things right. I think that's what ultimately is going to allow him to be successful in this league.
And, just so you're aware, Fred Warner, I have been sitting from this chair from which I'm talking to you right now, that this is his team, that he's ready for it, that he's got an immense upside, and that's why the Niners went and traded for him. And, of course, to trade all those picks, of course, you're going to just have to go with him. And whatever ups and downs there may be, you just hope that there's more ups and you could scheme for more ups. And he's got an incredible upside and you go along with it. So I just wanted to get that out there before I ask you one more question. about him on this front involving Lance here is that, he has an immense ability and a chance to rest this team. Do you think there is enough on this team, even from your side of the ball, to follow? Should he be that guy leading, Fred Warner?
You said in terms of what is our team look like going into the season? Is that what you mean?
Well, I mean, it's his team. Let's just say like you show up and let me get this right, the SAP Performance Facility in Santa Clara. And it's just like, this is it. Because he said to me at the Super Bowl when we were talking that, sure, part of the reason why people talk about him this way is he hasn't gotten much of a chance. He just needs the reps. And it looks like he's getting the reps. And so my question is that if you show up there and the coach says, this is our guy, he's got the juice in the locker room to basically have everyone follow, is what I'm asking.
For sure. No, I mean, he's fit in with the group since day one. I think he's come in like with the right mindset, the humility. He's the front office has continued to bring guys in that love the game. They love football. They're good people. And Trey's continue to work hard, and that's kind of how you build respect amongst your teammates and your peers. Is by putting in the work day in and day out, and guys seeing that. And seeing that confidence build within him going into his second year, being out there during OTA workouts and practices and, continuing to do that in training camp like I know he will. So he for sure has the respect amongst his teammates.
Got Fred Warner, the San Francisco 49ers here on the Rich Eisen Show. So the defense and how it's looking going into the season, what can you preview for me based on what we saw last year and your ability to take a step forward this year, Fred? What can you give me on that front?
The expectation is to be the best always, to be the number one defense. Last season I feel like we had a really good year. I don't know where we finished in the rankings, right, for overall defense, but I know we were at the tops, and I know that given what we did last year and who we're bringing back and the fire that we're bringing back and in our bellies, knowing that we want to be the best, I know we're only going to get better. And you're either getting better or you're getting worse. And so I think we're choosing the better of the two. And it starts in training camp. Well, it's already started. It starts in the beginning of the off season and putting in that work, like I know we did in OTAs, and then continuing to do that in training camp. And so I'm really excited to see his work.
How good is D'Amico Ryans, your DC, and the fact that you get to plug into, and him having played the same position, similar position, Fred?
Sure. Yeah, he's the best. He's the best. And I don't just say that just because obviously he's my coach. I know what greatness looks like, and he exudes that every day. Not only just as a coach, but just as a person. He did so as a player too. Just the leadership ability, the teachability that he possesses. And, continuing to want to get better as a coach and wanting this group to get better and pushing us and making sure that he's prepared every single day to make sure he gives us his best self. So I know he's going to come in ready to go as well.
Man, what was it like in that NFC Championship game last year? Man, I mean, for this franchise to go into that building and be able to maybe own it for the rest of your playing days, right? And then play for the Super Bowl in that building. I mean, to do that to the Rams and the opportunity that was there, I'm wondering when you look back on it, what you think of Fred Warner for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very crazy season, to say the least. The way that it kind of went, the ups and downs, and the fact that we even made it to that game after some of those adversities that we hit throughout the season. And you talk about that Week 17 game, being there trying to beat the Rams and pulling that off somehow, being down at half, and going into Green Bay and beating them, being MVP. It was a crazy season. We had the opportunity, right there to make it happen, and we didn't capitalize on that opportunity in that game. And the Rams went on and they won the Super Bowl. Just as they should. They're a very good football team. And so I think going into this season, that's gonna for sure. That's for sure going to rest with us. That feeling that we had in that NFC Championship game, knowing that we want to get back to that game and win it, so we can have another opportunity at winning a championship.
And then, to go into Dallas and do what you did in that postseason run. Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys coach, said afterwards that the Cowboys were nervous to start the game. Did you sense that from your side of the football, Fred?
I don't know if we sensed that. I think that was another hard-fought game. One I should have mentioned, but I wouldn't have said that I thought they were nervous. I know it was, a young team, a lot of young superstars on that team who hadn't been in the playoff experience probably. A lot of us on our team, we had been there and we knew the situation and how the game should go, and so. I think it was just a hard-fought game between two good teams.
Fred Warner here on the Rich Eisen Show. Before I let you go, week 1, you're at Chicago. 5's breaking the huddle, right? I'm always doing that because I do love Trey Lance. 5's breaking the huddle. Offensively, you're getting that ready to come out there. Let's just say, right, you win the toss and coach says we'll take the ball. Puts the offense out there first. You're standing there, maybe getting ready to get out there. 5 breaks the huddle. Does 19 break the huddle with 5? What do you think? What's your 2 cents on that right now, Fred? What do you think? I'm putting it out there.
You're good. Hey, you're good, man. You're good.
I appreciate that.
Here's the thing. Is we always defer. So the defense is for sure going to be out there first.
Okay, so then
that's not realistic. That's not realistic look. Right?
Okay, so then let's walk through it then. So you win the toss, you defer. You get out there, you show Justin Fields that 2022 is exactly the way that 2021 went for him. Okay, okay, so
you
I'm buttering you up, obviously, to get the answer to the question.
Now we love it. Okay, now we're getting.
You're feeling good. You're 3-and-outing. Okay, you 3'd out. You get some good field position for 5. 5 breaks the huddle. Does 19 break the huddle with him? What do you think?
Man, I sure hope so. I sure hope so, man. He's one of the best football players in the NFL. So, I sure hope so. He's out there.
I got to be honest with you. I couldn't have been more stunned about whatever the heck started happening. I have no idea where it is right now. I couldn't have been more stunned because he is such an identity maker for your team. You're one of them. Fred Warner. Kittle's another, obviously. Deebo is another. Bosa could, I could go on and on because there's so many dynamic players on your team. He's one of them, and he's so identified with the way that you play and the way that you hit and the way that you make business decisions occur for your opponent so often. Did you have any sense that things might be not going copacetic with him and the team at all, Fred?
Yeah, I mean, I think when each player that goes through that process, from a teammate's perspective, and knowing that I've been through that process as well, you got to let that guy go through it, however it may go. I know there's been ups and downs, and that's just that's another part of it that a lot of people don't see. Like you see the games on Sundays and things like that, but this is kind of just another part of that process. And Deebo's going through that with the guys who are in charge of that on the team, and so I know there's a lot of time left. And Deebo, the thing I can say about Deebo is he's an amazing player as well as a teammate. That's my guy, and so I know he'll get whatever he deserves. And I know in good time that things will work themselves out.
Do you talk to him about that sort of stuff? Like, when was the last time you chatted, connected with him, Fred?
Yeah, I mean, I've let him handle that process.
Right.
And so I saw him at OTAs, and he was looking great, in great spirits too. So it was good to see him back and be back with his teammates. And everybody understands that part of it, right? It's just part of how it goes. And so letting him handle that process as he may.
Fred, I appreciate the time. What are you doing between now and training camp? Did you travel? What did you do? Anything this summer at all?
Yeah, I just got married.
Hey,
got married a couple weeks back. Yeah,
Mazel tov. When'd you get married? When did that happen?
Yeah, it was June 25th.
Oh.
Yeah, we got married in San Diego.
Okay.
And then we went on our honeymoon to Bora Bora for a couple of days.
Oh.
And then right back to work, man. Yeah.
You went swimming with turtles? Swimming a little manatee, little manatee snorkeling? Is that what you did?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, the whole 9.
Wow. Okay, a Bora Bora honeymoon. Okay.
Right.
And now what do you just filling out the honeydew list between now and training camp? Is that basically what it is?
Right. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
How long have you been with your wife now? Is it a long time, or is this?
Yeah, we've been over 2 years.
Okay.
Over 2 years, yeah. So now we're 2 weeks into being married. I think a little over 2 weeks probably, but
wow. Okay.
Counting.
Very good. Congratulations,
Yeah.
Fred. You had a heck of an off season. What an off season.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Terrific. Well, let's stay in touch throughout the playing season. I always do enjoy our chats. You're always straightforward with me, and I always appreciate that immensely. Thank you. Thanks for the time.
I appreciate you, Rich. I appreciate it.
You got it. That's Fred Warner of the San Francisco 49ers. Trey Lance's San Francisco 49ers. Right here on the Rich Eisen Show.